Kyle Rittenhouse is attempting to rewrite history, his own legal history, or at least along the way try to get his name back in the news. I'll let you decide as we roll into this story. Basically, as you know, at the Kansas City Chiefs victory parade, there was a tragic shooting in which one person lost their life and a couple dozen were injured. The part about it that bothers Kyle Rittenhouse, though, isn't that. It's this. I am trying to comprehend why the government was quick to reveal my name after I defended myself, but they still haven't released the names of the Kansas City shooters. So again, the fact that there is yet more gun violence, who cares about that? Nobody's stopping for that. It's why don't I get to know their names? And yet they released my name. I wanted to be anonymous. I didn't want to become a national figure off this. Well, he had a weird way of showing that back at the beginning of his entry into the political stage, because as was pointed out on Twitter by Ron Filipkowski, he did an interview with the Daily Caller, like immediately. He did an interview with Tucker Carlson. He was everywhere on the internet, desperately trying to make a name for himself. Now, there was some financial pragmatism there. He was trying to raise a ton of money, but he also saw, as so many people on the right who needlessly kill people do, hey, maybe I can become a congressperson off of this. You don't need qualifications. You don't need any of that stuff. You kill some people, and if they're the right sort of people that you killed, maybe you get a position in the right going forward. Now, he said in his book, I went to Kenosha to help my community, not become a whipping boy in the national debate. In less than 3 minutes, the direction of my life was horribly altered when I was forced to defend myself with deadly force. So much was said and written about me that was not true. Okay, I don't want to relitigate the entire thing. There was no reason for him to be within hundreds of miles of there. Nobody needed to be hurt. He wasn't actually at risk of dying. Those people needlessly died. But in terms of his life being altered, he decided to make this the defining thing of his life. He's the guy who continues to double down. He doesn't need to be on social media. He could be like trying to finish high school or whatever the hell he's doing with his life that nobody cares about. This dude is desperate to be a national figure. And along the way, the fact that people actually died in the Kansas City shooting is so irrelevant to him. So we have the actual information. We'll get to it in a sec, but Sharon, what do you think?
I don't understand why this guy won't go away. What he did was be a thirsty killer that night. He was thirsty. He asked the police for water. Remember, they gave him water. Thirsty killer. And he's still thirsty. He was thirsty when he sat down with Tucker Carlson. He was thirsty when he released a book, I believe. I don't even know how many copies he sold. I don't know why he has to insert, I do know why. He has to insert himself into this tragedy. Lisa Lopez-Galvan, does he know that name? Okay, He's gone. A beloved DJ, a sister, she's gone. And he needs to go away too.
100%. Yeah, but by the way, so people might be wondering, why are you talking about it? Well, I am desperately hoping that he will become a cautionary tale to other potential thirsty killers out there. People like him, people like George Zimmerman. Does it seem like their lives have been improved long-term by the violence they decided to engage in? They lead horrific, needy, cringy lives, trying to stay in the public forum, trying to have people talk about them, trying to just be given money for the fact that they killed someone one time. That is no life. And look, I know what you might be thinking. You look at like a Kyle Rittenhouse and you think he was never gonna make anything of himself. And I that's a good argument. I grant you that. But this is not better than him just, trying to make his way through life. Anyway, I'm done with him. I'm setting him aside. 2 men have been charged in the murder. You referenced the actual murder there. The defendants were named. So Kyle Rittenhouse, good day for you. They were named. Dominic Miller of Kansas City, Lindell Mays of Raytown. They each face charges of second-degree murder, armed criminal action, and unlawful use of a weapon. There had previously been reports of they considered that it were minors that might have done it. That was why the names weren't initially released, both because you're not supposed to release the names of minors, but also because there was uncertainty to exactly who had done it. So again, a stupid question being asked by Kyle Rittenhouse rather than just Googling why the names aren't publicly available. But of course, why answer the question when you can instead imply that a conspiracy theory is the answer for it? And there is a reason for that. In the wake of a shooting like this, if they do not immediately consume all of the oxygen with conspiracy theories and trans shooter theories and all that, then people might stop and think and spend a little time thinking about the fact that we've once again had an event that should have been celebratory, a time of joy, that was instead another mass shooting, another American mass shooting. And that is what they do not want people to actually stop and think about. Sharon, any final thoughts?
Guns don't kill people, people kill people. I mean, anything but the truth goes.
Yeah.
Let's just keep talking about all these fringe things instead of there's too many guns in America that a couple of, okay, we'll see what happens at trial. A couple of fools decide they want to get in a gun battle as the Kansas City Chiefs fans are trying to enjoy a celebration of victory.
Yeah.
No guns, and who knows?
Yeah, 100%, as is so many times the case. Remember when there was like 4 instances in 1 week of people just being shot because they like knocked on a car window or drove into the wrong driveway? Every single one of those instances, no rational person with 2 functioning neurons thinks that in the absence of guns, well, people would have just beaten the life out of each other with their bare hands. Nobody actually thinks that. It was the gun that made it a fatal incident.